spectacle, a cavalcade of dancing lights trying to hype this crowd into a frenzy, and it's working because they know what a huge matchup is in store. Welcome to Memorial Stadium, Lincoln, Nebraska, and home of the Cornhuskers. As we'll see a squad from the Big Ten, the USC Trojans, taking on another team from the Big Ten, the Nebraska Cornhuskers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Get us underway with the opening kickoff. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So USC's offense will have the football first. Every team has impact players. What traits are you looking for when it comes to players who can make an impact, David?
Well, obviously, you want the main things, right? Speed, physicality, like all power, all those things are really, really good. But you also need guys that will hold people accountable, guys that will lead. And it's nice to have those guys on your team. They're the leaders of the team, and they're the best players.
And part of the reason why they're leaders is because these guys galvanize their teammates, right? We've seen time and time again, these dudes make plays, and it just sparks the sideline. It sparks the coaching staff. It sparks the fans. They're special players, and they all have to play well together.
Fires to the tight end. At the 40, there he goes. And he was loose and out the gate and doesn't go down until he gets to the 48-yard line. Looking back to last year, the Trojans made a midseason quarterback change. You might expect that, trying to live up to what Caleb Williams was able to do, but Jaden Maiava certainly finished strong, Jesse.
Yeah, the UNLV transfer looked really, really good, especially at the end of the year. And you know with Lincoln Riley, one of the great QB whisperers in recent college football memory, if you're locked in and you're playing and you're seeing the field the way Lincoln Riley is seeing it and calling it, this offense is going to be unstoppable. If he does that, he is going to put up Heisman numbers.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Back to throw, it's Maiava. Got it set up on the outside. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen pass to the running back, just nowhere to go after he caught the football. The defense completely swarmed around him, and that's a loss.
Third down, and the Husker faithful getting loud, trying to make movement change impossible. Fires downfield. Finds a man on the left. He'll work his way down to the 28.
Yeah, I don't know defensively if you want to keep giving this guy that much cushion, because when he gets the ball in space, he's able to shake all these defenders and turns a 5-yard completion into a first down.
The Trojans are moving quickly down the field. They'll give it to the back. Knocked down behind the line of scrimmage, he'll lose a yard.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
The negative play leaves them with 2nd and 12. He'll do it himself. Steaming into the backfield to make the stop, and he'll lose 4.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time. Offensively, the defense coming up with a
throws toward the end zone. Oh, he dropped it, and what a missed opportunity early in this football game.
Tell you what, I don't know if the offense was expecting man coverage that time. 3rd and long in field goal range, you're expecting it to be zone. Instead, they lock them up man-to-man, everybody on an island, everybody won. They get the incompletion, now setting up 4th.
They'll play it safe and try for 3. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
Man, these late-night crowds are so much fun. They're so into it, so much energy in this building. And the visiting team drives down the field. Tell you what, drive stalls out a little bit, but they quieted this place a little bit by getting 3 and starting this game off on the right foot.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. So Nebraska's offense has the ball for the first time. And David, they've got a receiver that if he is able to command some extra attention, it could really help get this offense going.
Nah, and you need that playmaker out wide. That guy makes the whole thing go, right? Having a guy, if you want to play man-to-man coverage, he's going to beat you. And he's shown the ability to do that sometimes for this offense. And he's a guy that has the defense's attention.
Yeah, I don't think this guy's winning the Bolitnikoff Award necessarily, but you're right, David. When he's one-on-one, he should be able to win those matchups. And based on how he's played this season, this quarterback should feel really good and really confident when he throws his way.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Barney. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
And the Huskers are facing 3rd and inches. They'll send the back in motion. With jet sweep pass. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and what a big 3rd down stop by this defense. The Cornhuskers will punt it away on 4th down. They'll have to boot it away for the first time tonight. Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. They'll start this drive and snap it from the 40. Gonna run it. It's Sanders. Shakes off the defender. Continuing to churn and move it forward, and they're closing in on midfield. It's down at the 48.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on 1st down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Running to the left. And he picks up enough for the first down. We'll see if they get another snap here in the first quarter. As we head to the quarter break, it is USC holding the lead. And we've come to the end of 1. And let's take a quick moment to catch up on the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the 2nd quarter. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Able to pick his way forward for a decent game before the defense gets him down.
Man, it's nice when you can depend on your big boys up front to make a lane, and you get 5 or 6 yards. You get 5 or 6 yards a pop, you move the ball down the field easily, and more importantly, can get this defense to be more aggressive, to bring DBs close to the line of scrimmage, and then that might open up some big plays down the field.
They'll run play action. He wants to take the top off. And they took a shot on that one, but couldn't make the connection. It's incomplete.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up. And if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
Looking downfield, it's Mayava. Grab near the marker, it's Lane. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot him at the 24-yard line. He might have expected to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen. Instead, nice little zone, and they pick up the first.
Man, offenses are getting so good, Reese, at seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down, how to make it an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback, and that's what it was on 3rd and short.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Man, not much wiggle room for the ball carrier there.
I'm not really sure what they can do to try to create some space.
I know. Block better. How about the offensive lineman push some guy backwards and make some holes?
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Grabbed over the middle. It's Strachan. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Big 3rd down in the red zone, and this crowd is getting behind this defense. From the gun, wants to pass. Caught, close to the marker, it's Strachan. Picks up enough to give them 1st and 10 from the 13.
All right, defense, it ain't working, right? They're stringing together several 1st downs here. We're going to need to change this up, find something we can disrupt the quarterback and mess up this offense a little bit.
And the Trojans will have it 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. He's got the tight end. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the 1st.
The Trojans with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Off the play fake. It's complete to the left. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. Sometimes it's not about a fancy play design. It's about just getting him the ball and letting him play.
Especially nowadays with running backs being so good out of the backfield. You know they're going to catch it. There's so many ways to use them, but exactly. Get it to him, let him break tackles, let him make plays. Easy decision.
They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. Lost to throw again. Bought a little time, lets it go. Makes the grab. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be 1st and goal.
Everything seems to be working for this offense right now, and if they keep this up, this could get ugly by the 4th quarter.
And the Trojans have it with a 1st and goal. The give. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Trojans. Precision blocking up front created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive and finished the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Coming out with it, it's Barney. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. You'll take 4 yards on 1st down every time, 2nd and 6.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the 1st half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
To the air, it's Raiola. Under fire. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. The Huskers will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. He'll call for the fair catch here. Going right to work up top. Caught behind the line. It's Sanders. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
I want to make sure I know where the playmakers are. And I can't let guys like this guy slip out of the backfield and make big plays against me. Good job being aware that they can throw the ball to the running back, closing space and getting that fast dude on the ground.
Wants to go up top. And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38. They'll immediately call timeout. The #1 job is to protect your quarterback, and they weren't able to do it long enough that time.
This offensive line, Reese, they've got to do a better job communicating pre-snap. Try and figure out which people on defense are going to be rushing the passer. Right now, this offense just looks confused up front.
There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on third down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives live? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
He'll make the fair catch at the 13, and they will have less than favorable field position here. Looking downfield on first down. Throws to the wideout. Got it in the middle. It's Hunter. Get it down to the 28-yard line. It is a first down, and they have to show some urgency here.
It's a nice job running the in route there by the receiver, and the best thing he did after he made his break, he didn't trail and fade away. He actually attacked the football. That's a good lesson for young receivers out there watching.
The give to the back. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Man, a lot of ways to describe those first 2 quarters in Lincoln, but let's just go with notable. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. With that said, let's send it back to the guys at Memorial Stadium.
The Trojans will kick it off to start the second half. He'll bring it out. It's Barney. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Off play action on first down. Tight end finds a soft spot. And that had all the makings of bug meat windshield. But how about the little corner taking on the big tight end and keeping him from getting the first? And the Huskers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. The play action fake. Finds his big tight end. Changing on the move. It'll be a first down at the 29.
Really nice job there by the quarterback understanding it's blitz, and not just that it's blitz, but knowing whether it's man coverage or zone coverage behind the blitz. You've still got to know where your answer is going to be based on what the defense is doing in the back end, and he add the answer to the test right there.
The handoff to Johnson. Defense closed down quickly after a gain of 3. They'll mark it at the 32.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Back to throw, it's Raiola. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26.
In the second half, trailing the way they are, they know they're going to have to be able to throw the football to get back into it, but you can't accomplish that if you can't keep your quarterback standing upright. Give the defense tons of credit getting that sack on third down.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, doesn't need to take the check down. That's caught. It's Hunter. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
Yeah, when you get that man coverage, most people are taught to have inside leverage. So that out route's there if your QB can put some air on it and throw it outside of the guy. But tight coverage, but a really nice throw in that out route.
The Cornhuskers will line up to punt it away. They'll look to pin him deep. Coverage team was down there to corral him. They made the stop, and they'll mark it at the 39. Opening play of the drive from the 39. Wants to go up top on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33.
I think going into halftime trailing, this defense knew that they were going to have to start making plays here in the second half. And early in the third quarter here on this drive, they get a sack. That is really good news for this defense.
And the Trojans have put themselves in dire straits after that last play at 2nd and a mile. Trying play action. Got a man. It's Lemon. Turns it on at midfield. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39.
It's a nice play call there. You've got 2-possession lead. You're trying to keep the defense guessing, right? Because you've got that lead, they know you're going to run it, but you still have got to be able to sprinkle in some shot plays and some vertical throws. That was really, really good thinking on that last play call by the offense.
They go to the ground. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And you're seeing on both sides really hard to run the football in this one. You've got to give both of these defenses tons of credit. They are so physical up front. These defensive lines can take the game over, and right now, it's tough sledding on the ground.
The Trojans trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
Here's the thing. I know this guy's not going to win the Heisman Trophy, but he's a pretty talented football player that's made big plays for this offense in the past. They have not had any success when they've given him chances so far in this game. And in the third quarter, you're getting a little nervous, I think, if you're the head coach, because he's a guy you need to have success if you're going to win.
On third and long, a check down will be the last resort. Going for the big play. Catch and stride inside the 15. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's 1st and goal from the 7.
And a big reason why this team has the lead in this game is because of plays like that. They know they've got firepower throwing the ball. They've got the dudes outside that can make things happen. You saw it in the first half, and you see it here again early in the third quarter.
They'll keep it on the ground for 1st and goal. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. The run up the middle, trying to find his way to the goal line. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Southern Cal!
This defense is going to have to do a better job being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
Getting set for the point after. And with the extra point, they now have a 3-possession lead at 17. A 67-yard touchdown drive there, and it was capped off with the 8-yard run. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Just enough time for one more snap before the end of the quarter. Off the play fake on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Barney. They get him down, and that'll be the final play of the third period. That's the end of the period, and USC has the lead. They've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we got here. As we start the fourth quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. Final stand to the game, and we'll start with the first down. Looking to throw, it's Raiola. Grabbed in the middle, it's Barney. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
And defensively, this is exactly what you want, right? You got the big lead, so you can play big zone coverages. Just keep the ball in front of you. Keep your eye on the quarterback, rally to the football, gang tackle, and you're going to win this game.
Second down, he'll throw it. Snagged in the middle, it's Hunter. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line.
This defense better not blink. I know they've got a lead here in the fourth quarter, but just look at who they're going against. This quarterback is one of the best in the nation. They cannot rest on their laurels. Someone's going to have to make a play.
The Huskers will snap it on 1st and 10. They'll give it to Johnson. Sweet cut there. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
And the Huskers with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Looking to fire. Grab near the marker. It's Johnson. He'll step out of bounds right at the 27.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football, and a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting them the football, letting them get some positive yards.
They'll put it in play from the 27, 1st down. Back to throw, it's Raiola. Quick strike complete. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
Well, this offense has not put their best product on the field today. They've got no points to show for any of their efforts so far, but they've still got a chance. But if it's going to happen, it has to happen now in this 2-minute situation. This is where their playmakers need to step up.
Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Good timing on the quick out. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. They were able to make the completion, but he had to pick his way for just a little bit. Needed a little more help to spring him for some yardage.
Yeah, if you're going to have success when you throw it outside like that, you're going to need some more blocking and better blocking downfield. Give the defense credit, though. They were able to rally and made a tackle.
Just keep slinging it. Got it behind the line. It's Barney. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage.
How about the job and recognition by the defense? They knew exactly what they were trying to set up, and they had multiple defenders surrounding that intended target so that there was nowhere for him to go once he caught the ball.
It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And the pressure gets to the quarterback. Down he goes, but that penalty marker sitting right at the line of scrimmage might be offsides against the defense.
And you got to focus, right? The first thing you're looking at as a defensive lineman, the first thing you understand is the ball starts with a snap count. I have to line up, see the ball. When the ball moves, I move. I know it's simple, but you still see guys jumping off sides all the time.
Snags it, and he will score! Touchdown, Cornhuskers! They score for the big fella here. Why are tight ends so effective in the red zone?
Well, these aren't the guys that are going to burn by you and go for 70 most of the time, but when you can use their big-bodied frames, threaten them to run the football and be a blocker in the running game, and now you slip them in the secondary, make that big play.
Lining up for the PAT. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. So it's an 80-yard drive, and they finish it off by connecting from 10 yards out. They are running out of time here. They need to get the ball back. They'll line up for the onside kick. And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it. And guys, USC has the ball back and sending the offense onto the field. They saw what happened on that last scoring drive and now probably feeling a little bit of need to answer. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and this offense just a couple of minutes away from putting one in the win column. They'll be perfectly content to go right back to the ground here on 2nd and 8. Looking for a man. It's Mayava. Just a short pass to the tight end. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible.
Yeah, this defense is going to have a plan for this tight end, especially when he lines up in the slot, because there's a lot of different routes he can run, and because of his size and his wingspan, he's very, very difficult to cover.
Oh, he's got some space. Run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, and that's where this offense will go back to work.
And he finally breaks one. They get rewarded. They've been trying to run the football, Palmer, but just haven't had success all day.
Yeah, and the staff never gave up on him, too, right? They kept giving him opportunities, and maybe that's the run that starts to open things up here later in this game for this guy.
Yeah, and a great job by the defense, holding the line of scrimmage, playing downhill, playing responsibility football, making sure they shut down that option play.
To the air on 2nd down. Gets it out quickly. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. He caught it. They will score. Touchdown, Trojans.
And it was so important for the offense to come up with a touchdown there and not kick a field goal. You're trying to put this thing out of reach, and that touchdown puts so much pressure on their opponent now with less than 2 minutes to go.
Lining up to add another. And that extra point is a big one as they now have a 3-possession, 17-point lead in the 4th. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. The handoff to Johnson. And he finds enough running room, and he's marked down at the 20.
listen, that wasn't the greatest run in the world, but it was very successful, and you're making me honor the run. And another thing, every time you run the football, someone gets tackled. There's physicality involved in the game. So I like when offenses commit to the running the football, no matter what the outcome is, because those body blows do add up.
Got it in the middle, it's Bonner. Chain gang on the move. It'll be a first down at the 29.
Now, I know that completion isn't a touchdown. It's not a deep play deep down the field, but how about the strong hands by that receiver making that catch? He made that look pretty routine. He had that DB draped all over him and still was able to help this offense get positive yards.
Caught over the middle, it's Bonner. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
Well, that receiver, he knew he had to get his head turned around quickly. He's running the curl route against zone coverage, but he knows his quarterback is going to be firing that ball into him. It's a rocket pass. He's able to make the catch and get the first.
The Cornhuskers come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking for a man, it's Raiola. Quick completion on the out. He'll step out of bounds just short of midfield. They'll mark it at the 49 after a good pickup on that play.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Quickly to the tight end. The offense takes a timeout with 30 seconds left.
Not the big fella, the tight end, the wide receiver in a tight end's body going up and making the catch.
Wants to throw on first down. They'll run the screen. Jukes his way for more. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous and you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
Off play action. Unloads to the wideout. Catch in the middle, it's Hunter. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle at the 17.
Well, had a nice job working the middle of the field. I think it's so important to keep defenses honest, and you can't just dink and dunk outside. You got to work the middle. Great job finding this wide receiver over the middle of the field.
The Huskers, once backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost, have put quite a drive together. Going for 6. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback in this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops, just not in sync. And that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
This time it's complete. They make the stop, and the clock strikes 0, and that will do it for this one.